So for this video, I'm going to teach you guys how to make your own homemade mayonnaise. First step, I just want to show you how to set up your station. It's a very easy way to keep your bowl stable when you have a pot, a cloth, and then the bowl on top of the cloth like you see here. So the first ingredient you need is 2 egg yolks, only the yolk. So separate them very carefully, make sure there's no shell, no whites. And you also need to make sure your eggs are at room temperature. This is critical because if the eggs are cold, that is one of the biggest reasons that your mayonnaise will split, it'll curdle, and it won't emulsify properly. Now mayonnaise is a permanent emulsion because of the lecithin in the egg yolks, and also we're going to be adding in 10 mils of Dijon. Why not just do that now? About that much. You can just estimate it. And the lecithin of the eggs and the mustard is what makes this a permanent emulsion. Mayonnaise will not separate on you, unlike, say, a vinaigrette, which will separate on you, the oil and the vinegar. So now that we've added in the mustard, we're going to add in some white vinegar, make this a little bit acidic. You also want 10 milliliters, and again, I'm just going to measure it, eyeball estimation. Sure, that much is good. So now that this has been whisked, we're just going to quickly discuss our oil. 1 egg yolk can hold 250 mils of oil. So since we have 2 egg yolks, we have 400 milliliters of oil. The oil I will be using is canola oil. It's neutral in flavor and it just works really, really well for this recipe. Some mayonnaises you can buy in the store do say made with olive oil, but that oil has probably been winterized because oil in the fridge, olive oil will harden up. Imagine coconut oil at room temperature. It'll be that kind of thing in the fridge. You don't want that because it'll seize and ruin your mayonnaise. So we're going to be using canola. When you add the oil to your mayonnaise, the first quarter to third has to be added in really slowly. And you want to whisk constantly. Once you've started, you cannot stop until the end of the dish. And you also have to be adding oil at all times because you don't want to add air and over thicken your mayonnaise. We're not making whipped cream, we're not making meringue. We don't want any air into the dish. So now that I'm going to start now in pouring my oil. And remember, like I said, the egg yolk has to be room temperature when you started this. And now here we are, the whisking process. So I've added maybe half of my oil by now, which means that I can go a little bit faster, not too much at a time, but just a little bit faster than you were in the beginning. So I've reached the end of adding in all of my oil, and the consistency of the mayonnaise looks really good. I did not split or break mine, but let's say that I did. How you would have fixed it is get a new egg yolk, and only the egg yolk. You would put that into a new bowl, and you would pour in your old mayonnaise the same way you did the canola oil, drop by drop, very slowly, add in the old mayonnaise. It's a very similar process to fixing broken hollandaise if you've ever made that sauce for breakfast. So now we're just going to add our final 3 ingredients, which are the seasonings of the dish. I've got some lemon juice. It's flavor and its acidity that will help with the emulsification. Same process as the mustard and the egg yolk. We've got a touch of salt because you season everything you make. And we've got a pinch or so of cayenne pepper. Not trying to make it too spicy. And give that a quick whisk, not too much, but just stir it in and combine. And then taste, because you want to make sure you have the right ratio of flavors. So I adjusted all the seasonings, tasted the mayonnaise, it's now perfect. I also whipped it a little bit by itself. I know I said no air, but mine was too thin and now it's perfect. So I think a little bit is going to be fine. And I will now show you what it looks like close up and finalized. One last thing I want to mention about this mayonnaise is that it doesn't keep as long as one you'd buy from the store. So just make sure to use it quickly. But basically that is how you easily and quickly make a homemade mayonnaise. which is a permanent emulsion due to the lecithin in your egg yolks.